So, welcome to the micro teaching session that we will have. It will be a 15-minute teaching session. Okay. So, Fotis and Katarina, I will be your teacher, George. First of all, before we start, some minor rules. If you want to go to the toilet, which I don't expect you to want to, the toilet's over there. The exit in any case is there if something happens. And yeah, we can start. So what we're gonna learn today is about percentages, more specifically percentage changes, so increases and decreases, and how to find them and how to calculate them. Okay, now let's start. I want you to think quickly and find some real life examples of where you have found any percentage changes. Yep.
Increase in pay.
Increase in pay. Okay.
Like salary.
Yep. Salary increase. Anything else?
Discounts.
Discounts when going to buy something.
Yeah, like shoes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Those are two cases where we can find any some percentage changes. So, yeah, let's see them in more detail. So we have a salary increase. So let's say that we are being paid, I don't know, let's say that we have a starting salary of £20,000. Okay. And this can either become a £22,000. Okay. Or we may not know what the final salary would be after the increase, so maybe we will be given like a 5% increase. So our employer says that I will give you a 5% raise, and we say, okay, thank you very much. Let's find out how much my salary will be after that. Okay. And what about the discounts? For example, let's say that we want to buy what?
Shoes.
Shoes. So let's say that we have shoes and they cost £100. Yeah. What would how would we find what would we encounter when we want to find something like the increase or the decrease? Maybe it is a sales. Sales, and we know that from 100 it will be down to £80. Okay. Or maybe we go to buy them and they tell us that, okay, I will give you a 20% discount on the shoes. So we want to find out how much is the decrease in order to see if they're, if they're correct in what they say. Okay. Now, there are a couple of methods that we use in order to do that. There is one called the formula method and the other one is the multiplier method. We use them for different things and I will show you what we do with them right away. Let me find my, yeah. So let's start with the formula method. Okay, what is the formula method? Formula method goes as follows. We have the percentage change. That's what we find. Percentage change. That's what we find with the formula method, and this is equal to the difference of the price of the salary divided by the original times 100. So let me explain this to you. Let's say that we had the shoes and let's say that they were worth £200. Okay. And they're telling us that I will give you the shoes at, let's say, £108. Okay, and we want to find out how much is the discount that we got. Okay, so we find the difference between those two numbers. So 200 minus 180 is 20. This is the difference. We divide it by the original, which is the 200, and then we multiply this thing by 100. Just so that we can express it as a percentage. Okay, so in our case here, 20 divided by 200 is 1 divided by 10, or 0.1 times 100 is 10 and it's a 10%. Okay, and it's a 10% decrease. Okay, we would do the same thing if we have an increase in something. So if something costs 200 and then we have to pay 220, for example, this would be the same, but it would be an increase. Okay, but the formula is working both ways. Okay, so as I said, this one we use it when we want to find the percentage. Okay, now what if we know the percentage, but we don't know how much is the final value, or in general the final number that we want. For example, for the salary increase that we talked about. Okay. So let's say that we have, how much did you say? 20,000. And let's say that we have what? 5% increase in our salary. So we want to find out how much money we will get after the increase. Okay. In this case, we're using the multiplier method. So the multiplier method says that we take the percentage and we write it as a decimal. Okay. How do we write a percentage as a decimal? So if we have a 10%, for example, change, regardless of whether it is an increase or decrease, this can be written like a decimal this way. It is a 0.1. You can do that with your calculator as well. So 10% means 10 divided by 100. So whatever the percentage is, we divide it by 100 and we can find it as a decimal. Okay, so in our case, we have a 5% increase. My 5% is written as 5 divided by 100, and this is 0.05. Okay, the multiplier method says that we take this number, and if we have an increase, we add it to 1. And this would be if we have an increase. If we have a decrease of some sort, for example, again, when we have a price reduction and we don't know the final value, we take the percentage, we write it as a decimal, and then we subtract it from 1. Okay, so then we get a number that is a little more than 1 or a little less than 1. In our case, which is an increase, we add 1 to 0.05 and we get the 0.5. This is what we call the multiplier. And what do we do with that? We multiply, as it says, with the original number, the original salary. Okay, so if we do 20,000 times 1.05, we will get 22,000. Okay, and this way we find how much is our final salary after the increase. Okay, so I will give you one exercise each to practice what we have already learned. Okay, and you will do it now. So you can get the percentage change, and for this you can get the multiplier method. If you have any questions regarding the exercise, you can ask me, and then you can have a go at it. Forgot to mention that you can obviously use your calculators. already done, both of
Yes.
Okay, let me just quickly check what we have done. Yep, it's very good and correct. That one as well. Cool. Now, I would like you to try to tell each other which method you use and how you use it.
You go.
I go first. Alright. So basically, what I did is I
Sorry,
used
which method did you have to use for the exercise? What did the exercise say?
the formula.
Mm-hmm.
So
The multiplier method.
yeah,
right?
multiplier. Yeah. So I had to basically multiply to get the salary increase. So my exercise is the starting salary for a junior position is 22K. After the first year, there will be a 5% increase in the salary. But what will the salary be after the increase? So basically, I took the 5%. So I took the 5 and divided by 100.
Mhm.
So I got the 0.05, and then I added +1.
Mhm.
So I've got the 1.05, and then I've got the salary, the 22K, and I multiplied it with 1.05, and I've got the final salary is 23,100.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the increase, like the final salary after the increase, the 5% increase.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's about it. And what about you, Katerina?
Alright, I had the percentage change. So I had a bag that originally cost £50 and then it was down to 40. So I had to find the percentage. So I did 50 minus the original price minus the don't remember the word. Anyway, the price
That's
after
fine.
the decrease.
Yeah.
So it was £10, and then £10 divided by the original price, which was 50, multiplied by 100. It was 0.2 times 100, 20% decrease on the price of the bag.
Great. Very well done. Yeah. So yeah, I can say that you have understood how we use both the methods, and yeah, let's quickly recap what we've done. So we have two methods for the percentage changes. One is the formula method, which gives us what the percentage is, and what we use is that we find the difference between the original and the final number, divided by the original and times it by 100 to express it as a percentage. Okay, and the multiplier method says that we know the percentage, we write it as a decimal, and we add it to 1, and this becomes our multiplier, and we multiply it with the original value, whatever the value is, to get the number increased or decreased. Okay, do you have any questions, any things that you're not sure about?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm covered, yeah.
So yeah, one thing that I wanted to mention is a common mistake that I have seen. This is regarding the multiplier method. Usually, what happens is that when we have a percentage that is less than 10, I have seen many of the students being confused about how to write it as a decimal. So for example, let's say that we have an 8% decrease or increase, we don't care. Okay, and I'm talking about the multiplier method. What did we say? We want to write it as a decimal. Okay, the correct is 0.08. But I have seen many students forgetting that you have to add a 0 because this is the 8, and they write it as a 0.8, which basically is 80%. Okay, so this is a common mistake, but you have done well, so you don't have this issue. That's about it about our session. So on the next session we will speak about ratios. Okay, well, I'll tell you how to use ratios, and I had a small self-assessment that I would like you to fill in. There you go. got a yes and everything. Okay, that's very good. And last, I will give you a little homework. Obviously, this is your homework for next week, and this concludes our micro teaching session. Thank you very much.